This week, I'm giving a little treat to our coach. I'm talking about ceramic. Yep. So I'm in beautiful North Las Vegas. I'm in front of Bob Moses Ceramic, and I'm going to give it a complete ceramic job and give you the intermediate photos as we go, and we're going to talk about it in the end. So stay tuned. So as most of you know, ceramic detailing is a very intensive and very expensive process. It's not just a standard buff and wax job. It's a long process in which you have to have your complete entire coach what's called color corrected, or some people would refer to it as a cut and buff. This camera, and I'm using a GoPro today just because I'm traveling, and I know for sure it's not going to pick up all the nuances in detail, but I do have the coach in the sun. As you know, our coach has very conservative tones, blacks, grays, and white, and that's it. And you're gonna have a hard time, but I'm gonna face the camera into the sun. Hopefully, you'll be able to see water spots as well as swirls up there just under the awning. And you're going to see some streaking, a little bit of ghosting up there, and here in this big field right here. Now, if we were to go back in the shade, you're not going to be able to see any of that. Okay, I'm just going to walk down the coach really quickly here. You will see some streaking. We've unfortunately gotten hit with a rainstorm after rainstorm. So the reason why I bring this up is in the sun, it's brutally honest. And so what I like about Matt is during the week, when they get things buffed out, they'll bring it out in the sun and they're gonna turn it around. They're gonna give it a real good, thorough visual before they tuck it in to get it ceramic, and then they do the same thing when they bring it out. After it's been done, they put it out here in the sun and they look around, they see any types of holidays or any types of spots that they may need to readdress. So let's talk about what it is to do color correction or cut and buff. When you look at these paint jobs, no matter how good the paint job is, in the sun especially in the dark colors, you'll see swirls, and they could be minor or they could be major. All those swirls need to come out, and that process is labor intensive. It's like with any painting, prep is everything, and so you cannot rush a ceramic job. You've got to find a good detailer that's going to take their time giving a good color correction. They're going to touch up any spots that they need to. They're going to get all those swirls out. They need to have straight LED bars or light bars to see the actual surfaces to make sure all those swirls are out. Now, Bob Moses is a franchise, but they're very specific on who they allow get into their franchise. And these guys are really, really, really on top of it. I love communication, and these guys are on it. Matt in Phoenix was the founder. It's actually his grandfather's name, Bob Moses, where Matt Moses was the first one who started this business. And he's just a super responsive, super nice guy, walks you through the entire process. And he passed me over to Matt, another Matt in Vegas, and I'm here now. And so Matt Moore is just going to do a real quick overview. He's the gent that's going to take care of our coach, family-run business. Two daughters?
Two daughters.
Two daughters. So he runs a tight ship here. Daughter probably has his wife doing the bookkeeping too,
yes.
right?
Yes, she would be here today, but she's taking care of some stuff at home.
So Matt's going to do a real quick walkthrough on what he's doing with his truck and fifth wheel. So I'm going to let Matt talk about it.
All right, guys. So this truck here is actually in for our paint correction and ceramic coating. We use a Sencha Japan product. It's a 25-year-old company, and we use 8-year only. That is exclusive to us here in the United States. So this truck here, as you see, has some tape on it. We are kind of prepping it, getting it ready for our paint correction process. And then once we do that, obviously we're going to unhook the truck from the trailer, and we will go through, do the paint correction, then we bring it out, take a look at it, make sure there's no issues with the any of the correction, make sure we didn't miss anything. Then we take it back in, we do a decontamination process where we basically decontaminate the whole vehicle, make sure there's nothing left behind, and then we hand apply our ceramic. And then again, we bring it back outside to look at it, not only in the lights inside, but also outside to make sure that we didn't miss any high spots, low spots, or there's nothing that we are unhappy with. Once we're done with the truck, obviously, like I said, we're also going to do the same thing with this Alliance. This coach here is about 40, I believe it's a 45 footer. And we'll pretty much do the same process on it as well. We take it inside, we do our polishing, we bring it out, we look at it. If we see anything we don't like, we take it back in, tune it back up, and then we go through the same process as far as decontamination and the hand-applied ceramic coating, which is, again, Sencha Japan.
There's differences between what you would expect for longevity on a gel coat like this versus a coat that has a Newell paint job.
That is correct. So here's the difference. So a gel coat, it's not if it's going to fail, it's when it's going to fail. It's going to happen. So what we tell people at the gel coat trailers is we want to see them once a year. Why? Because we know that it's going to fail. It's not so much the ceramic, it's the fibers, they're drying out, there's things happening in the actual gel coat themselves. So we want to keep an eye on it and keep it looking just like this coach will look when we're done with it for the entire 5 years or whatever we guarantee the longevity of the coach for.
So what's the worst thing you do in a year on a gel coat? If you came in and it started to look like it was starting to, what do you see and what do you do to fix it?
So if we see any kind of failure, any kind of oxidation, anything funky going on, we will take the time to repolish it. We will recoat it, whatever we need to do. That's part of our inspection process when it comes to the gel coat. And they must come back once a year.
Yeah.
As far as the painted coat, it's a completely different animal. The other thing is, as far as age, like we're looking 2-3 years is about as old as we'll look at these. I start questioning it because once the oxidation is set in, it's almost like cancer. You can take and cut it off. It's going to come back type thing. You can't correct it.
And it don't stay away even with ceramic on top of it.
Correct. Because now it's embedded itself into the fiber.
That's a lesson is, you know, if you let your coach go too far or your fifth wheel go too far, don't expect to come out and have a ceramic be the holy grail. It's best if you're going to bite the bullet early on when your paint is good. Don't let it go. Don't let it sit there, park outside for a year and then say, ah, shoot. Because like he said, he's good, but he's not a miracle worker, so he can't restore damaged gel coat or paint.
Correct. We always say it's not an age reversal, it's age prevention.
There you go.
So if you look at it that way, it's just an easy way to think about it. And there's people out there who will do it, but you're wasting your money.
Yeah.
We would not take your money if that was the case. If we see a coach not worth doing, we're not touching. We're not taking your money.
See, these guys were really honest. They said, we guarantee him at 5 years. You're not going to have a problem at 8 years. And that's on a Newell, for example. Even if we didn't have to do anything on an annual basis, we want to see it, but we're confident that the paint job and the ceramics, the Sencha product is going to last at least 5 years and beyond.
Correct.
Especially on a paint job like a Newell.
Correct.
But the gel coat, the boats, the campers, the aluminums, not so much. Complete different bird. So just keep that in mind when you...
We do like to hear from you guys, though. We ask the customer to call us once a year. We kind of ask some questions. What do you see? Is there anything weird going on? Is the water beating like it's supposed to? Those types of things.
Yeah.
If you see anything, or if those questions you answer, we don't like the answer, we're going to say, hey, next time we need to get you in here. We need to get you down here and get you on the schedule so we can take a look at it and see what's going on. We always spend about 30 minutes with you on pickup and walk you through everything.
Point is, they cover it soup to nuts. They want you educated on what to do. Speaking of that, what are we supposed to do on washing these? Yep.
Typically, it's a pressure washer, deionized system, which you can get CR Spotless or you can do RV Mods, either one. They're both great kits.
Yep.
Some like to mount them on the coach. The RV Mods is a little bigger kit. Difference is, you know, the volume of water you get.
That's right. And if you haven't seen that, make sure you look at my channel list. You know, I got the DI rinse stuff down below, soft water, the systems down below. So check those links because it's really important. If you're gonna wash, you've got to use DI, not filtered water, not softened water. You have to use DI. And some of these professional detailers, they'll change their DI water out if it's over 4 parts per million. And I know for sure that a black will spot at 10 and above. The bottom line is if you start getting mineral deposits on a black coach like that especially, all bets are off. You got to have a DI.
Yes, correct. And the Both kits actually come with a monitor to where you can check. The CR Spotless is actually built in. And you push a little button, and if those numbers start rising, it's time to change the media. On the RV mod system, it's a little different. It's not built in. It's actually a little hand piece, and you just stick it under the water and you check your parts per minute.
TDS meter. Yeah, right. Good point. Cool. Well, I gotta get these guys going, or else this will be a 2-month job, not a 1-week job. Okay, these guys, when you text them or email them or call them, they're on it right now, and they will walk you through all the process that's involved. You can't have somebody do a ceramic job in a parking lot. It won't work. It doesn't work. You'll be disappointed and you'll throw your money down the drain. It's super important that you get a ceramic detailer that's going to keep your coach protected indoors. And in this case, they've got a nice industrial shop full of room. They have 50 amp service in there for me, and they can store the coach in there, all protected. It's going to rain this week, so they don't have to worry about it at all. It's temperature controlled, and this is the way you want to do it. So stick around, and there'll be more to come. So here we are. 1 week later, I flew in to Vegas, and as promised, Matt and his team did a superlative job. They kept the coach inside their bay to let everything cure, and then early this morning they took the slides out and they coated my slides. So let's do a walk around. We'll see how good it looks. Everything's coated specifically with a paint ceramic as well as the chrome. They even did the wheels for me, and of course, you know, you just can't even imagine how good it looks. Looks absolutely stunning. I left it up against this building here so that we can see some reflection in the paint, which helps show it off even more. But boy, oh boy, every square inch has been done. Looks phenomenal, as I expected. We're gonna have a 5-year warranty on it. They coated the windshield with a ceramic for the glass. Everything looks great. And he assures me that the washing game is about to be changed for me. The key in these coaches is you soap them down with a pH balanced soap with the foam cannon, and you let that sit, and you only do a small panel, enough that you can reach with your hands with, and just let that sit for a minute, and then you spray rinse it down with DI water only, and then move on to the next panel. And you don't have to use a mitt. You don't have to use a Mary Moppins lamb's wool. There are times where if it's really gummed up in the front, you may have to do some work on it, but they have their detailing product, they have their pH balanced shampoo, they have their touch up, which is like a detailer, super high concentrated, and they have their glass spray too. But I'm really anxious that the next time it does get dirty and I have to wash it, how much easier it's going to be. So I'll put the link in the description below of Bob Moses ceramic coating, and I'll also link the description of this business as well as Matt Moore. But as usual, you need to contact them individually for the current pricing. I'm not going to put pricing in this video because I want this to be timeless. I don't want it to be something that next year is completely outdated. So I hope you appreciate this nearly as much as I appreciate getting it done. And I hope you have safe travels, and if you have a chance, definitely swing by and say hi to Matt here. If you're in Phoenix, look up Matt Moses. I do not think you'll be at all disappointed. These guys are top notch. Take care.